Namaskaram everyone, this is Vishwaksen and welcome to Vaka Talks, where we talk about mental health and emotional well-being in different kinds of relationships. We are doing a case study on narcissistic persons using Devayani, the daughter of Shukracharya, as an example. So now Yayati, along with Devayani, he goes back to his palace, and then he calls his sons. First he calls Yadu, his oldest son. He's a son of Devayani as well, and he explains the situation, saying that he has got a curse, and uh, uh, then the way out is if he can exchange it with one of his sons, and the son will get back his youth after he has experienced everything that he wants to experience. And Yadu says, no, that's your curse, you have to deal with it. And then he goes to his second son, Turvashu. He's also son of Devayani. He also says no, and then because Devyani's sons say no, he moves on to Sharmishta's sons. At no point of time he says that whoever takes over his old age and gives him his their youth will be the heir, will be the next king. So next he asks Anudruhyu and Druhyu, both of them are Sharmishta's sons. They also say no, and finally he goes to Puru. Puru is the youngest, and he narrates the whole situation, and he says, "If you will you give me your youth after I have experienced everything that I want to experience. I will give you back your uh, I will give you back your youth." And Puru says, okay, you are my father and you have some needs. You need it for whatever reason you feel you are in this situation and you need my assistance. I'm happy to help. And Puru takes over the old age of Yayati and gives him his youth. And then Yayati declares that Puru is going to be his heir and he is going to be the next king. And things go by. After he experiences his youth and he experiences a lot of things for many years, and then after a lot of time Yayati gives back his youth to Puru, crowns him the king, and then he decides to go and meditate and do tapas. Well, we can talk about what happens of his tapas, going to Swargalokam and Brahmalokam and then falling down and then rising back up later some other time if we get an opportunity. But for our story, he crowns Puru as the king and he goes to the forest to do tapas. So now we see that the final battle, even without playing the game, Sharmishta has won. Devyani's sons said no, and they are out of the picture. Well, two of Sharmishta's sons also said no, but the third one, the youngest one, said yes, and he became the next king. So Sharmishta is the Rajmata and Devyani is not. So Sharmishta finally got a position that Devyani could not and will not. And this is the final narcissistic fall of Devyani, and she goes into obscurity after that. And this same line continues all the way up to Shantanu, where Mahabharatam starts. This Puru is the ancestor of the Pandavas and Kauravas, and we'll talk about Shantanu and when we are talking about Mahabharata. So for many generations. It is Sharmishta's lineage that ruled the kingdom for many generations, and Devayani is has uh, has been sidelined because she was never a Rajmata. And back then it was considered that being the Rajmata is considered to be a very noble, a very high position, even higher than queen. And we see that Devyani sees her fall, and Sharmishta, who is a very strong person, very strong woman, and who has not swerved from her duty. She has sacrificed uh, for her kingdom. She has been just. She has always followed her dharma. She has always followed her duty. She becoming the Rajmata, and Devyani being sidelined. And yes, she's helpless now. She cannot go back to Shukracharya to intervene, because Shukracharya himself has said that told Yayati that whoever takes your old age and gives you their youth, you crown them as the next ruler. And Devyani has nowhere to go, and she has to live with that final defeat. And yes, it's it's not very common to see that happen as we see in the stories, but quite often we see that when the narcissist finally has their narcissistic fall, when they finally fall, when they finally fail, when they finally face a match and face someone who is genuine or someone who is more narcissistic and more exploitative than them, and they finally fall, they go into obscurity. They don't want to show their face. They 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 develop a lot of animosity against them. They try to take their exact revenge, but they don't want to show their face. They don't want to appear as a failure, as someone who has fallen down, someone, because they feel that that is humiliation. They feel that that is embarrassment, when in reality it is not. People, there are always people who go higher than others. There are always people who are failing. There are always people who are falling down. There are always people who are picking themselves up again and moving. There are always people at different levels. But a narcissist, when they fall, they tend to go into obscurity. They don't want to go back into society. They want to hide. They don't want to make themselves seen, because they don't want people to see them as a failure. They don't want people to see them as someone who has fallen down. They always want people to see them as someone at the top. That's why we always see that when are uh, people fall down, people have committed a lot of scams, people uh, have created a lot of scandals. When the scandal is exposed, immediately they go into hiding. Yes, they go into hiding to protect themselves as well, to hide from the law, to protect themselves as well. But even after they finish their sentence, they come out, they maintain a very low profile. They don't interact with people. They tend to be in hiding, continue to be in hiding, self inflicted exile, because they don't want to appear in the society after they have fallen down. They want to go into hiding. They don't want to reveal themselves. They don't want to see people, or they don't want to be seen by people as a failure. They put in all efforts to reduce their sentence. They all every resource that they have, they will use to avoid being imprisoned. But even after that, they will not go back into public. They will not want to be seen. And well, for people around them, people living with them, it is going to be hell. They they keep cribbing, they keep self wallowing in their own self pity. They want sympathy from people around them, people who have to live with them, their family, their closer relatives, cousins and friends, and they always want the attention from them. They want to see them as a victim. Even though they were not, they were clearly uh, not the victim. They're clearly the abuser. They still want to want to be seen as a victim, but they don't show their face to anyone outside than the people they absolutely have to, and they go into hiding. If you like my content, please hit the like button and share your experiences in the comment section below, and please share my videos with people you feel would benefit from my content, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Until we meet again.